Obviously, I mentioned to you guys we have a huge meeting today. Sheikh Khalid is here. Sheikh Khalid Yasin is here from the New York area, and he's been visiting the masajid around town. So, inshallah, we definitely want to welcome him here to the Royal Islamic Center. And we want to thank him as well for coming and taking the time to be here. He's here through probably the middle of this week, so let's be hospitable to him and show him why Houston is such a great place and that he should keep coming back, right? I'll let him take over, but again, it's just a heartfelt welcome to our lecture and to Houston.
إن الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه. الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه ومن والاه وبعد. فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أيها الأخوة الكرام وأخوات السيدات، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Maybe the first thing I would like to say is that everybody has a story. Maybe your story hasn't been told yet. Everybody got a story. But don't believe the hype. There's nobody that needs to be remembered. Everybody needs some help. People need to be recognized. You know what I mean? But no one really needs to be known to be popular. Because that's one of our problems today. Muslims, we got too many popular people. And the more popular people that you're looking at, whether they're sports people in the Hollywood, Bollywood, Chollywood, the boss, the neighbor, this one, that one, your favorite singer, dancer, this one, that one. So all these people is blocking you from the leader. There's only one leader for us. Everyone else is just a carbon copy. That's the best we could be, right? So, we did some things. Yeah, I took Shahada in 1965. Yeah, that's correct. But so what? What we do? What we gonna get for that? Allah, He got everything written down. Allah, He knows He is Samir al-Alim. That means He's not only the hearer, but He's the knower of what He's hearing. And He's the seer of what others cannot see. So Allah, He gave all of us something to do. I want to start out, I want to talk about community responsibility. Let's get it clear what we're talking about first. We ain't talking about marriage, right? There is, inside marriage, there is what? Responsibility. But just so that later on, we don't start getting questions about marriage and divorce, so let's get it clear, it's not what we're talking about, right? What's the topic? What's the topic? Yeah, our responsibility. You ate the food, that's gone, it's done. Ramadan will be gone and done. Another one we're waiting for. But what is on us every single day that Allah He's writing down? He's keeping the reports on it. It's how we fulfill our responsibility in the society. This is the most important issue. While you living, enjoying, studying, all the way from grade school, all the way to your PhD, it all doesn't matter. If it doesn't fit, well, at the end of the day, whatever you're doing, if it doesn't serve the interests of what? The society. You're thinking that it's going to mean something to you. It will. But the performance Allah is looking for is not just what you do with your friends and your co-religionists. Allah is going to be judging you for what you do with all the people you come in contact, that you walk past, that walk past you, that you making eye contact, you doing transactions with them, you live down the street from them, you sharing a country with them, you serve in an area with them. Allah is going to be asking you on the day of judgment, what was your interaction with them? And you're thinking because you got a chandelier inside the mosque. No pun intended, I'm sorry. But guess what? I'm just going to say what I got to say, even if you don't want me to come back, it's all right with me. Because I'm going to drop the bomb. And when the smoke clears, you can say, hey, this is what the Sheikh said. And if you don't want to invite me back, guess what? I got bigger fish to fry. There's 6,000 masajids in the United States of America, or that's what Bloomberg said. You know who Bloomberg? You don't know who Bloomberg? You know Elon Musk, right? You know him? He in that circle. When it comes to statistics, he is somebody that they call it reliable, right? Bloomberg, keep that in mind. I ain't say Abdullah. Abdullah got some stats, but he ain't got it like Bloomberg. So Mr. Bloomberg said, and he has the biggest, journalistic, magazines, printing. He's got the biggest conglomerate in this side of the Atlantic Ocean. His cousin, another guy, he owns Sky. What's the guy's name? In London. That's his cousin. These guys got control of media. So he said that there are 6,216, I think it was like last week, 6,216 masajids in the United States. Say all over. You don't have to say nothing else. Because nobody even knows. Nobody can see that figure. Nobody has a clue. What do they produce? 6,216 masajids, and this would be considered to be sort of like on a scale of 1 to 10, this is sort of like a 4. They got some masjids. You want to talk about some bling bling. Yeah, I'm talking about bling bling. You be like closest to paradise you won't ever see. $150 million masjid. You talking about that chandelier? Man, they got chandeliers all over. They got rugs, that I'd be afraid to pray on. And they're real Muslims. I'm talking about the Islam is beautiful, like in Medina somewhere. Everything is good. It's just that on the Eid, there's 6,000 people praying there. But as soon as Ramadan is over, there's only 8, 9, 10 people at the Fajr prayer. Something's wrong with that formula. Is it? I'm asking you a question. Is something wrong with that formula, right? 150 million and only 8 people praying Fajr. Something's wrong with the formula. I'm not saying something wrong with the people. I'm not going to get into blaming or pointing or criticizing, nothing. But this is my country, in case you don't know that. Those who say it's their country, you just got the card. I don't know which one. They give it out now. Red card, blue card, green card, rainbow card, the alphabet card. They got all kinds of cards in America. As long as you cooperate in America, nobody bothers you. You can have any card you want. But guess what? I don't have no card. I don't need a card. I ain't got to swear allegiance. I was already here. They stole me and brought me here. So we have a unique history. Those that came and those that was here. We have a unique history. And yours is not going to matter, and mine is not going to matter unless we're able to cooperate. Because Allah gave me half, He gave you the other half. You feel me? That means, did you understand me? You heard me? That means, did you hear me? That's my Amir. You know, if you go to Egypt, I went to Egypt to study classical Fusha. You know, I was there for about 7 months trying to get the Fusha, all the scales and all the Arab and, you know what I'm saying, all the different things, Nahu and Surf and all that there. And that's how I found out that the Egyptians don't even speak no Fusha. It's right or wrong. Those who from Egypt, you know that. So, brothers and sisters, I want to talk about community responsibility because somebody is telling us that this is a community. Hello, sorry, I don't want to rain on your parade. But according to the definition of the word, a group of people who come together to do some things inside of a building, according to the definition of the English language, that's called a what? Hello? That's called a congregation. A group of people that came to a place to do something together, watch, sing, dance, whatever they came to do. That's called a what in English? A congregation. The community is outside. That's where the hospitals, that's where the schools, that's where the institution is at, that's where the safety is at, that's where the agencies are, that's where the work is at, that's where the field is at. That's where the action is. The action is not inside no safe areas that we call the masjids. The masjid is like the gymnasium. Do anybody go to war in the gym? No, that's what they do in the gym. Huh? Train. They do training. This is the training area. The problem with us Muslims, we've been in boot camp for the last 50 years. You know what boot camp is? Come on, guys. Boot camp is the 6 weeks or 8 weeks that you get when you go into the military service before you go to the front lines and get killed or wounded. That's called what camp? Boot camp only lasts 8 weeks. You got the whole deal. You know how to shoot the gun, you know how to run, you know how to do this, you can dig the ditch, you can fly, you can jump out of planes, you can do everything in 8 weeks. We Muslims, we've been praying Eid. This is my 58th Ramadan, so you know I done got all like the whole buffet. I like it all. Just that I can't eat it all at one time. But we don't get no further. We just add more people, but we're not making no progress. Are we praying? We got half the brothers and sisters here learning Quran. Allahu Akbar. Good. So what you gonna do with when you go to get that job? What you gonna recite there? I'm asking. You gonna get that job as some kind of engineer, doctor? You know, you going to be a nurse? You know, you're gonna be a lawyer? You know, you're going to be a corporate something, you're going to be a physicist, whatever. So what surah are you going to recite when you go to the interview? No, you ain't reciting nothing there, except what's academic, right? So then where the Quran is going to be at once you start making them big bucks. Because you ain't going to be living in the projects, I know that. You're making $200,000 a year, $150,000 a year, and in America, that's just upper middle class, right? Is it right or wrong? That's just upper middle class. That's people who think they kind of got some money and they struggling to pay the mortgages and all that. So we didn't make no progress yet, brothers and sisters. Why? Because most of our Islamic consciousness is inside of buildings. And you haven't been tested until you start dealing with the people that's on the outside. What's the zip code here? Just for the record. What's the zip code here? Excuse me? 77098. Yeah, I'm going to remember that. 77098. Based upon a formula that some of you don't know, but that the non-believers, they know. The fire department knows. The safety officers know. The police know. The health department knows. Definitely the people who do the voting and running for the offices, they know the formula. It's called a social footprint. What's it called? Social footprint. So listen, you guys should just give me $1,000 just for this lesson. It ain't the money. It'll help. It's the principle. The square footage of this mosque, this area right here, is there upstairs here?
No.
Okay, so let's just deal right here. Is it downstairs? Okay, so the square footage up here, just looking around like this, I don't know all the little spaces y'all got, but I say like around 5,000 square feet. Am I close? Close?
Yeah.
Good. As long as we're in the same area. 5,000 square feet times 100. How much is that? Huh? 500,000 square feet. That's like 500,000 square feet. That's your social responsibility. This congregation of people, because you decided to build a masjid, just the measurement by itself and the footprint of this building, not the parking lot, right here, measure it 100 times. That's your social footprint. Those are the people you're going to be asked about. Those are the people that's going to bear witness on you. Those are the people that you come in contact with all the time, and little do you realize, you are the most responsible than everybody else in this footprint. Why? Because your name is Amatullah. That's why. Your name is Abdullah. And automatically, Allah, He already said in the Quran, He gave us the ayah, that when He sent Adam, alayhi salam, what did the title Allah gave him? Huh? So, and the plural of that is what? Khala'ifa, right? That's people holding authority. That's people with authority. People who can regulate. People who are the most responsible for the resources. People that are responsible for the capital. What do they call human beings? They call it what?
Human resources.
Human resources. Thank you very much. He must work for somebody. See? Prophets, alayhi salam, they came to manage human property, right? That was their job. They were sent as a shepherd, right? First. Why they were sent as shepherds? Because out of all the animals, the sheep is the one that got to be taken more care of. Because the sheep is vulnerable, right? The sheep is naive. The sheep can't even sense danger. So Allah, He sent prophets to take care of what? First, sheep. And if they can take care of sheep, they should be able to take care of what? Human beings. He didn't send them as horse riders. He didn't send them as cavalry riders. No, He sent them as what? Shepherds. Then He sent them to do what? Tell the people what Allah said, and then after that, be responsible to regulate them, right? So what's our job when we build a mosque? Along with the mosque comes the responsibility of a community service organization. Say that, please. How are you going to service the community and you don't even know who they are? Let's test something out quick. I got 3 different questions. You guys might get an attitude in a minute, but I don't care. Your attitude, latitude, longitude, whatever kind of tube, get it. You better get gratitude. So, this is the question. Look to the left, look to the right. These are the people that you pray with. I know most of them left already. They ain't got no time to listen to no OG. They got something to do. I understand. It's Ramadan. People got things to do in Ramadan too. They just totally, I got that in. I'm going somewhere else now. Anyway, be honest and ask yourself, the ones you just now looked at, to the left and to the right, how many of them have been inside your house and ate with your family? This year. That means you stopped them outside somewhere. You don't even know them. They don't know you. You don't eat the same food. You don't dress the same clothes. You ain't got the same language, but you praying together. And you've been here 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years together. How many of you right now, can say that some of the people in this room right here, I selected them to come to my house and eat with me and my family? How many can say that? There it is. Sorry, I ask the same question everywhere I go. And guess what? When the people is honest, what you think the result I get? The same. How you gonna love each other if you ain't even familiar? You think a guy and a girl gonna get together and then love each other? They were just familiar? No, familiarity precedes confidence. Say that. Confidence precedes trust. And trust precedes love. So how many people's in love? I ain't asking about your husbands and wives. I'm not asking all that. I know y'all got some romantic answers. From some of the literature that you read and movies that you watch and some of the songs that you listen to, you think you're romantic. No, you just been put to sleep. That's why people say, I fell in love. When you fall in love, you fell. It's about stepping up to love, going with love, being in love. Whoever told you you got to fall for it to be real, you're just stupid. It's like garlic. Once you peel it, you can't stop the smell. So brothers and sisters, I want to do another test. This is all about community responsibility. You know, it's all a test. It's a litmus test. And I want you to be honest about this. How many of you can honestly say, maybe some of the women can, how many of you can honestly say that I know 5 of my neighbors by their first name, and I know their children too? How many people can say, I know 5 of my neighbors by their first name, and I also know their children too? Who? None of the men. There's a couple of sisters, that's it. Shame on us. You come to this country, and you know where we came from. I came from Brooklyn. That's another planet too. I was born in Harlem. Some of you never went there yet. But I wasn't outside of the United States. I've been inside until I became Muslim. Most of you here, you came here from different places. And Allah blessed you. He gave you more than what you even asked for. He gave you more than what you even expected. Of course there was some test. Of course there was some sacrifice. Of course, you know what I mean, whatever it is. But you think you're going to get what the whole world wants? The whole world, if they had a choice to come to America, what do you think they would do? They would come. Don't listen to the hype. They will come. First of all, if you come to America and you just get here for 90 days and you're illegal, America will give you $18,000 a year. Check that out. You're illegal. You crossed the border or the water or jumped off a mountain that you just here. America say, because you're here, we got to give you $18,000 worth of support every year. What country do that? And take care of you until you get yourself together. And even after you get yourself together, you had children, you had grandchildren, and you never gave nothing back to America until now. You say, oh no, Sheikh, no, we give out little food here and there. Yeah, every Ramadan, I know y'all give out some food. That ain't what I'm talking about. If you want to know what I'm talking about, there's a man, his name was Abdul Rahman, Dr. Let me put that in front. Dr. Abdul Rahman As-Samait Al-Kuwaiti. What's his name? What's his name? You need to know who he is, because Dr. Abdul Rahman As-Samait, he did something that a whole collection of Muslim countries never even did. Just go to Wikipedia or Wikipedia. Google, Gaggle, Giggles, her tube, your tube, whoever. Go look at it. Sheikh Abdul Rahman, Dr. Abdul Rahman As-Samait, he is the most profound humanitarian in the 21st century, including Bill Gates and all those other guys, including all of them. You say, who's this guy? Well, he's not on YouTube, yo. He did it quietly. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He changed and contributed to 29 countries. He spent his life in Africa. He was from Kuwait, but he spent his life in Africa. And in the course of the 29 or 30 years of building hospitals and roads and teaching people how to build their own houses and putting water and building the tank, what do you call it, wells and all this here, and putting people through college, whether they're Muslims or non-Muslims, he gave up 1.8 million shahadas. Did you hear of him? Did anybody hear of him? See, this is the kind of work I'm talking about. If we was doing that kind of work, we would be popular. We would be well known. We would be in demand. People may not like us, but they would need us. What would you rather be? Liked or needed? You can't answer? Yeah. What would you rather have? An intelligent enemy or a stupid friend? It's a no-brainer. Your stupid friend is going to be causing problems for you the rest of your life and his. But he's your friend. Right? And you make allowances for your stupid friend. But of course you need to have, it's better for you to have an intelligent enemy, because an intelligent enemy, you can reason with an intelligent enemy. And if you can reason with an intelligent enemy, that intelligent enemy can become your ally. And that ally can become a Muslim, while your stupid friend is going to still be stupid and he make you stupid. Now that's another lesson that you should pay for. You say, hey, Sheikh, we can't handle it. I knew that's why I came. Okay, let me be a little bit more classical, because I know you guys, I have my white glove for you, but you don't want to see that, right? So, community responsibility, brothers and sisters, there's an ayah of the Quran I want to say. I don't want to take too long, because I know y'all going to start making some kind of signs and like to see it weekend, all that. So, I don't want to talk too long, but I just want to get this ayah. All of you heard it, especially the ones that memorize Quran. It comes in Surah Al-Qasas. What surah? Yes. In this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وابتغي فيما آتاك الله دار الآخرة ولا تنسى نصيبك من الدنيا وأحسن كما أحسن الله إليك. Look at this ayah. Translation. Allah says, وابتغي, that means go, move. Go and get it. Pursue. You can have. Go through. وَابْتَغِي فِيمَا أَتَاكُ اللَّهُ. Pursue. Enjoy what Allah has given to you from the what? From the resources of what? Dar al-Akhirah. Zakah, fasting, prayer, adhkar, sadaqah, kindness, knowledge. All of this is attack Allah dar al-akhirah. And what he says after that? وَلَا تَنْسَى. But do not forget, do not neglect what? نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. Don't forget your share of this dunya. And what does share here mean? You will know what share means when you go to the rest of the ayah. Allah says, وَلَا تَبْغِي الْفَسَادَ فِي الْأَرْضِ, right? Is that the next ayah? Don't do fasad in the earth. So therefore he's qualifying for you. What is nasibuka min ad-dunya? What is it? It is the work that you perform in the earth. We have a responsibility in the earth. It is a community responsibility. We Muslims are the followers of Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوا وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ. He's the one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ what? أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ لِمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو اللَّهَ وَالْيَوْمَ الْآخِرَ what? ذَكَرَ اللَّهُ كَثِيرًا. All of this here is Allah is telling you, follow that behavior, not yours. Don't just do what the Prophet said. Don't just do what he told you to do. No. Do what he did. He didn't say just memorize the Quran. Allah says implement it inside your life. We would love to have an ally like Abu Talib. One of those allies is in your neighborhood, but you just didn't talk to them because you tell them, so that kafir, those infidels. When you see people talking to people like that, or them kafirs, them infidels, they should go take some cough medicine. You know, they should go get an x-ray, something's wrong. I don't know where they learned from, what kind of principles they could have, calling people whose taxes taking care of you, you call them infidels and kafirs? You can't make no friends like that. Even if they're the alphabet people. The constitutionally alphabetized people. Yeah, they're non-believers, they're non-Muslims. But we should not be calling them, or them kuffar, them kafirs. Because what's going to happen is they say the same thing about you, or you camel jockey, or you raghead, or you this, or you that. See, it's just throwing stuff back and forward. This is like childish. No, we have a responsibility to the people of this country, and most of the people in this country are good people. Most decent people. They will share with you. They will speak to you. They will support you. They will interact with you. Americans, most of them, they just astray. They got the values crossed up. Some things they just didn't get it. Allah didn't give them the hidayah, but Allah put you among them. You understand me? You got it? Allah put you and me among them to do what? What, to get as much as we want? No. Share with them. If you didn't share your food with no non-Muslims this year, shame on you. Shame on you. You don't know that surah? You don't know that surah? أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدْعُو الْيَتِيمَ وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عن صلاتهم الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون. You're not even asking nobody, hey, Miss Johnson, hey, Miss Robinson, how you doing? You need anything from me? Oh, yeah, can you? I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to Sam's Club to spend up some of this money I got, the EBT, whatever I got. Do you need anything? You ain't asked nobody nothing. You coming back before cars full of stuff. I seen the sisters. It's just that the brother sent the sister's death, so don't be trying to act like you didn't do it. Yeah. Once you put all that stuff inside your house, all your cabinets, and all that meat, frozen meat, and this and that, all kinds of stuff, you be sitting back, doing the remote like this here, you know what I'm saying? And then, honey, can we get some more of that? Yeah, I like that. You know, you never went outside. You didn't go down there where the people are sleeping under the bridge. You didn't go to the old lady place down there where they can't even get out. How many people here ever been to an old age home? I'm talking about the old guys and old girls. Y'all over there. I'm talking about the senior citizen houses where the people got assisted living and, they in the last part of their life. How many of us went to those places and just sit with those people and make some food, talk with them, and make them feel good for a day? Who been there? A couple of us. See, this is the job. You can't do that inside the building. Where you have to do that at? How many of you do it snow in this part of town? No. You're lucky. In America, when it snows, I tell all the Muslims, keep a snowblower in your garage. Go invest in a snowblower. You know one of those snowblowers? Invest in that. Not because you need it, but when the snow comes, you quick. Do it in front of your house. The house next door, the house over there, the house right across the street, free! They come outside and say, what happened? Oh, Abdullah, he do that all the time. Is that a good reputation or not? Huh? How many people sweep in front of their house and sweep in front of their neighbor's house too? I'm just trying to tell you. You don't need to give no dowry if you ain't got no broom. You want to be ringing on people's bells on them and says, hey, we have what you call it here? Open house. The Muslims call it like an open house. They say, we have an open house. What the hell? What is that? What is an open house? One day a year we open up the house for the neighbors, and they was here before we got here. What you smoking? No, Islam not like that. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, brothers and sisters, just let you know, and Taj, don't go too far. I'm gonna make the announcement. I'm gonna get that money before they leave. Don't worry. Lock the door. So look, brothers and sisters, did you know that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born a prophet? How many people know that? He didn't become a prophet when the wahi came. No. Don't tell him, no. He was born a prophet. That means he was ma'asum. You know ma'asum? What is ma'asum? Huh? No, that means he cannot. Allah made it so. He cannot lie. He cannot do zina. He cannot curse people out. He cannot do acts of fawahish. He cannot steal. He cannot. He doesn't even have the capacity to do that because Allah created him as a what? Prophet. How do we know that? Okay, what was the conversation that Esau had when he was a baby? What did Esau say? When Allah, Jibreel told Maryam, just when they come out, they accusing you of something, you don't know what to say, what he told her to do? Just point at the baby. And what the baby said. Y'all memorize Quran? What did the baby say? But today, Inni Abdullah, what? And he gave me the kitab and what? And made me a prophet and made me blessed. What? Aynama, wherever I am. And what else? And he put a binding upon me to pray salah and to give zakat. What else? And to give birra towards my parent. He didn't say two parents, right? Right? He said to my parent, a baby knew the grammar. A baby knew the grammar. A baby, if he could talk, he would not say my parent. He would say what? Unless he's from the alphabet people. He said my mommy and my mommy. My daddy and my daddy. Or my daddy and my grandmommy. Something, I don't know what they're going to do. Anyway, you recited. You said it, right, Chef? So if Esau was a prophet when he was born, then Muhammad was what? He was a prophet when he was born. So look at this, his behavior. When the Prophet was 18 years old, some of the scholars, the historians, Mufassirin and others, they said no, 21. But he was about 18. He belonged to a group. What was the name of the group? Maybe you're not going to find this in a hadith. There is 3 or 4 different hadiths you will find it, but maybe you don't know this because you didn't read the seerah. So what was with the group? What was the group called? Huh? No. That was a group of prophets. He belonged to a group called Hilf al-Fudur. What's the name? Hilf al-Fudur. What it means in Arabic? A pact, a federation. For doing what? Common good, social good, right? And Allah, He called all the prophets. In the Quran, He named them. And then He says, He calls them, what title He gives them? Muhsineen, right? What is Muhsineen? If you want to know what that means, Allah says, Inna Allah ya'muru bil adl. What? Ihsan. So what ihsan means over here? It means benevolence. So the prophets were what? Benevolent. The Prophet said belonged to Hilf al-Fudur when he was what? That's the work of the Prophet. To do what? Doing public good. Keep the streets clean. Make the people safe. Go back to the people who's responsible and give them a report. If somebody needs water, get water. Somebody needs food, give food. Make the city safe. Look after the old people. Look after the young people. Make sure the area where we at is good and clean. The Prophet did that when he was 18 years old. When's the last time we came to the mosque, each one of us with our cars, and we had in there the spray and the broom and some plastic bags, and and we just went around that. How much I say? How many square feet here? What's the square footage? I said 5,000 maybe, right? And so 100 times that is what? 500,000, right? So 100 people should come with their plastic bags, brooms, everything, and get permission from the sanitation department. They'll bring the trucks and everything, and they're going to say, what you guys doing? We're going to clean the whole neighborhood. We Muslims are going to do that. Like every other month, we just clean the whole neighborhood. Y'all want to join us? Join. If you don't, we sweeping, we cleaning, we bagging, and after that, we feeding too. What do they think about the mosque then? Suppose we go down and we tell the mayor, the town councilor, listen, in this zip code here, there ain't going to be no hungry people because we're taking care of them because it's in our zip code. As for the people who sleep in the streets, tell us where to take them to. Tell us what to do and help us. We take them out the street because in our zip code, we cannot leave nobody in the street. What would they think of us then? Did any Muslims in the 6,000 mosques around the world, did they do that? I asked, did you hear that they did that? No, they didn't. Muhammad sallallahu, that's what he did. And Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu, he was the Khalifa for how many years?
2 years.
Only 2. And during that time, he was busy doing what? Fighting the Murtadeen, right? But guess what he used to do at night? He would find people who were sick or they were invalid. And he would go and clean for them or make some food for them. And there's a lady, she was a Jewish lady. She was an old lady and she was crippled. And Abu Bakr used to take his servant with him, so he's not in khalwa, and he cleaned that lady's house and her bathroom and toilet and all that. When he died, when he died, she asked, where's that man? When she described him, they said, that's Abu Bakr. He wasn't cleaning your house. She said, that's him. And the servant said, yeah, that was weeks ago. This is Abu Bakr. He's on his hands and knees, cleaning somebody's house, trash. A sick, crippled Jewish woman? Which one of you would have did that? No, we didn't do it. We're not doing it. We need to talk about community responsibility. The system, this religion is built upon what? Demonstrated behavior. I want you to say that. What's it built on? Demonstrated behavior. Not philosophical behavior. Demonstrated behavior. Documented behavior. This Islam is built upon social interaction and involvement. What's that? If I'm saying if I'm coming down the line too fast, tell me, Sheikh, slow up, man, yo. Sheikh, you coming, you too hard on us. You remind me too much. I'm feeling like I'm in a dream and I'm getting ready to hit. No, this is our responsibility. If you want the best of what America has, you got to give America back the best that she gave you. That's what the Prophet did. He made a promise to the people of Medina that if he go with them, he said, they asked him, oh Prophet, if we give you support and you come with us, after Mecca is opened up, is you going to leave us? What the Prophet said. Check what he said. They asked him, will you leave us? What did the Prophet say? He said, no, I'm not leaving you. That means he made a promise, right? So when he did the Festival of Mecca, after all the times, all the struggle, all what they did to the Prophet, when he did the Festival of Mecca, first of all, everybody in Mecca who resisted him, what did he give them? What did he do? Amnesty, right? Second thing, he stayed in Mecca only, 14 days? And then he went back to Medina. Why he went back? Mecca, he loved Mecca. That's his home. If they ran me out and I got back, I'm running them out. But I'm not a prophet. The prophet gave them amnesty. He don't punish nobody. And after he stayed 14 days, what did he do? He kept his word. He did what? He went back to Medina. And he decided to die there. Because he made a promise. Did you know most of the Prophet's life in Medina was receiving revelation about the treaties? Because the Prophet didn't write the treaties, right? Is that right? He didn't think of the treaty until somebody else wrote it. The why he came, and Jibreel was telling him, Allah said, right over there, do this. And so this treaty, that treaty, even treaties that the Muslims didn't like. Hudaybiyah, right? How was the Prophet doing these treaties? Do you know how many treaties the Prophet made while he was in Medina? 10 years? Do you know how many? Between 34 and 37. So most of his life he was what? A social what? Activist. He was doing sulh. What is sulh? Arbitration. Solving problems. Earning the trust. Keeping the word. Making a contribution. How many of you can imagine this part? The Prophet made hijrah, and a year and a half later, they were signing the Treaty of Medina. What? You know the Treaty of Medina? That he became the arbiter, right? Nobody can leave without his permission. Look at that. After a year and a half, how many of you had something like that a year and a half after you came to America? What you had? You didn't have Jack. Not make nobody feel bad. And guess what? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah never gave him a vacation. Did he ever have a vacation? Did he take a day off or 3 days off? Somebody should say, hey, Prophet, so I said, you're working hard, just take off for 1 week, take a vacation for a week. No. When he arrived in Medina, he stayed with Ayyub al-Ansari. Is that correct? Is that correct? How many days? After the hijrah, how many days he stayed with Ayyub al-Ansari? And why he stayed with him? Because Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, he was the patriarch of Medina. He's going to tell him what to do and how to deal and give him orientation. He stayed with him 40 days. After that, the Prophet was working, he never had a day off. Until the time he died, he never had a day off. How many days off are you asking for? So brothers and sisters, if this masjid will become, if the masjids which we have built and that we pray in Ramadan, if they will become social service centers, the circle will complete itself. Because that is the major reason for establishing a masjid, not simply for Muslims to pray. The masjid must become a community service, what? Center. For the other people. We run it. We're administrating it. We're the ones that get this, how we give back. Then what happens, brothers and sisters, by default, the people will become our responsibility. And what did the Messenger of Allah say? Who is the best person? Who's the answer to that, Hakim? They asked him, Ya Rasulullah, who's the best person? What did he say? Khayr al-nas, man yanfu al-nas. The best of people is those who what? Give the most benefit to other people. That's the reputation that we want. That was the reputation of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in this respect, thank you, brothers and sisters, for listening to me. You guys didn't know that each one of you are going to have to pay some money for this, but your guys will tell y'all later on about that. And it's okay. If you don't want to pay, don't worry about it. The pay will take place another time. It's all right. So let me just tell you this. This young brother, his name is Taj. He's right there. He has an organization called Muslim Voices for Peace. They already made an investment of like about $100,000 or plus in some property in Washington, D.C., what they want to do. Social activism. They want to contribute towards dawah. They want to also, organize things for young people. They also want to influence federal legislation when it comes to Muslims. It's good, right? Well, in Washington, D.C., you can't buy a food truck for $100,000. But they're buying a building. And since he's like the age of one of my grandchildren, I said, okay, let me roll with him. He'll learn something from me, and I'll learn something from him. But he's going to do all the driving and the heavy lifting. Yeah. So I can tell my friends, I got a Saudi dude, he's driving for me. You know what I mean? I got a Saudi dude, he's driving for me. He's my homeboy, man. He took keep them bags, man. But this is the nature of Islam. Allah, He did that. So he and I can bond. His culture, my culture. He went to school here before he was a smart guy. He went to school here. You need to help him. I'm with them, but I got a project too. He's helping me, I'm helping him. But I want to see the project he's got is more important, that he gets what he needs than me. So Monday, this coming Monday, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in our hotel, because nobody can tell me in the hotel where I'm staying at, you can't raise no money. I don't want to disturb nobody in the masjid, you know what I'm saying? Trying to raise money in the masjid in Ramadan, man, that's like, trying to raise money in Ramadan in a masjid, that's one of the hardest things to do. And may Allah bless every masjid that allows us to come and talk. But what we decided to do is to ask you to come to our hotel where we have rented a room and where we have set up our equipment so you can come there and spend 45 minutes or 1 hour and you can see the project that we have. You can ask the questions you want to ask. You can see where it fits at. You can see the benefit it's going to have to this community. You're going to see the benefit it's going to have to America. You can see it because we will have 45 minutes to talk about that project. That's the first thing. Then for me, I'm doing something different. I dug wells. I responded to natural disasters. I did all that for 30 years. Now I'm being proactive. I'm in West Africa. I set up 2 offices in West Africa because 52% of the population is unemployed. How many? How many? That's people that are employable. They graduated. They have skills, but they got no what? So my colleagues and I, we go to West Africa and we're reversing that. We have an entrepreneurial program. We have a personal development gateway. It's all software. That's the work that we're doing now that ties into what? Community service and also what? Da'wah. If you want to know more about it because you're interested, you're motivated, you don't have to be like Pavlov's, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be salivating. You just have to be interested. And maybe you can give us some advice, although we're not trying to get advice. What we're trying to get? Don't be afraid. Nobody's going to kick you out. Yeah, we're not trying to get the money here. But if you're interested, you want to do something with Allah. You want to do something about whatever. You want to negotiate. You want something that's going to give you back the ROI. You want to get that ajr that Allah spoke about. You at least have to what? Hear it properly. That's what we're asking you to do. Come Monday. Brother Taj, he has some flyers he can give to you on the way out. And brothers and sisters, the ayah I recited first, that's one. Another ayah that I recited, I said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Another ayah that I recited was what? Do you remember? Do you remember the other ayah I recited? لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Okay, so all of these ayahs, I didn't just recite them like, just reciting them. I recited them because it was part of the surgical procedure. This is what we're doing. We're doing surgical, what? Procedure. Keyhole surgery. That means no pain. Go right home, go home, relax. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we become more progressive, that we become more focused, that we become more community oriented, that we put more focus on what we do outside the buildings than what we do inside the buildings. And for every $10,000 that we invest inside the building, we spend $10,000 where? Outside the building. And that we start paying attention to our neighbors. We start talking to them and interacting with them and asking them questions, how they feel and what are they doing. How was your day today? How's your children? Is there anything you need from me? I mean, really, you need anything from me? Sometimes you be afraid to say that to somebody, but then they're going to really ask you for something. You said, you don't need nothing, do you? So, brothers and sisters, if we become better neighbors, we will become better Muslims. Our message will become more effective. And you'll find that people will accept Islam even without Shahada. What did I say? What did I say? They basically accept the premise of Islam. They like you. When they like you, they're going to be promoting you. And some of them and their children will become Muslim. And we will get the benefit of that. Because if they don't, and we die, guess what? وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. The Prophet, he said, the Quran is a book, hujjatun alayk, hujjatun lak, aw hujjatun alayk. So if you're reading the Quran, you're memorizing the Quran, carrying the Quran, you're representing the Quran, it is either a witness for you or, so it's not all ice cream and cake, brothers and sisters. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He bless your mentions of shura. May He bless all the people who are responsible for building this mosque, sustaining this mosque, guiding the people, taking care of the overhead, administrating everything, and especially may Allah He bless the sisters who never get the full appreciation from the men. How I know that? Because they should have an area, the women and the children should have an area twice the size of that of the men. It just makes sense, guys. You would relieve a lot of pressure at home if you was more generous. And you would reverse the minds of the non-believers, because they would, people would say, the way that the Muslims build their mosques, they make twice as much space for the women and the children than for the men. Now, can somebody call us then that we ain't respecting women then? No. My mother used to say, before she passed away, Ghafrullah, you can say that because she was a Muslim. Her name was Carrie. We named her Sophia. Sophia said, Khalid, I'll go to the mosque with you, but I'm not going through no other door. When we get there, I'm coming through the same door you're going through. And if the brothers, they don't like it, I'm just telling them to talk to me. And I'm sitting where you sitting. I ain't going upstairs looking down. I'm not doing none of that. I'm telling them, get out of here. My son is over there. I'm going with him. And I understood then that she had a problem with the Muslims, not with Islam. Did you got that part? We make rules that other people are not comfortable with. And we keep the rules in place because it's our culture. It's not even necessarily Islam. You see, it's Islam, that's it. The sisters should have a nice place where they can change the babies, they can change their whatever, they can breastfeed, they can move around, they got to worry about who's looking at them. They need to have their own area. But you can't tell all the women, especially the ones that become Muslims in America, go around the back over there and go upstairs and just keep quiet. You can't do that in America. There was a lady in New Zealand. You remember her, the president? You guys remember her? What was her name? Jocelyn what? She's no longer there, right? You don't know what happened, right? Huh? She was burnt out. But do you know what ever happened? She let it leak out to people that she was studying Islam. She did more for that country in the short term than any Muslim leader in the world. She's an ally, right? This is how our work goes. Don't worry about shahadas. Worry about who? The neighbors. And don't worry about giving your neighbors shahada. Just treat them nice. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the Muslims who are 7 million, that in the next 5 years they will be 15 million. We hope all the people, all the non-Muslims don't have no babies. Yeah, y'all just don't have no babies for about 5 years. It's not that we tell you to do that, but if that's what you want to do, okay. 5 years later, guess what? The rabbit got the gun. Bro, we Muslims, we're going to have 1 wife, 2 wives. Even if we got 1, we're going to have like 9 kids. Allahu Akbar. And Islam is moving without the Muslims. Without Muslims, Islam is moving. Because Allah, He wants that. Islam is moving in Europe. Why? Because Allah, He want that. The Prophet, He promised a time will come when the message, this Islam, it will pierce every heart and go through every kind of stone and go into every home, either the home is made of rock or wood or steel or whatever it's made. The message of Islam is coming inside. So now we got what? Social media. Islam is there. May Allah bless all of you. Thank you very much for listening to me. And I took more time than they gave me, so I'm sorry about that part. You say subhanakallah wa bihamdik. Wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. And if anybody would like to know how do we set up a community service organization, if you want to know how to do that, we have the template. We're not trying to take the member. We're not trying to compete with the leadership. We're not trying to come in and do nothing, get on the board of trustees, none of that. We just want to help every mosque, every Islamic center to have a what? A community service organization. If we do that, full circle. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.